I'm Mr. Bateman, and here's how to deal with square roots of negative numbers. So here I have the square root of -9, and normally I'm afraid of a negatives under the square root, because no number can really multiply it to be 9. I might think, oh, it's just, if the square root of 9 is 3, the square root of -9 must be -3, but that doesn't work because -3 times -3 is a +9, so that doesn't work. And that's why I was afraid of it until now. So here's how we deal with the negative square roots. I'm going to just split this off until be 9 and -1. Just like how we split up normal positive square roots, I'm going to split this up to be 9 and -1. Because 9 times -1 is just -9, no big deal. What's nice about the square root of 9 is that's just 3. So this just becomes 3. And what's kind of nice about the square root of -1 is that's what I'm going to call this imaginary number I. So square root of -1, instead of writing that, I'm just going to call that I, and that is my answer. No big deal. With this square root of -25, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Split that off into the +25 and -1. The square root of 25 is nice. That's just 5. And the square root of -1 is not nice, but I'm going to call that I. And it's just like that, no big deal. Now I have the square root of -18, which is not a perfect square. So here's how I deal with one of those. In the same exact way, I'm going to split it up, but I'm going to split it up to be +18 and -1. Cool. Is the square root of 18 nice? Not really. I gotta split it up even more. What perfect squares go into 18? That's gonna be 9 and 2. What's nice about the square root of 9? Well, that's just 3. I'm stuck with the square root of 2. I can't do anything with that. So it's gonna stay square root 2, but I can't forget that I took out this -1 before. And that -1 is going to be an I, and I put that right here, right in between. So it's 3I and the square root of 2. When I have the square root of -40, same exact thing, split that up to be 40 and -1. Is the square root of 40 nice? No, but I can split that up to be 4 and 10. And now, what's nice about the square root of 4? That's 2. Square root of 10. Are there any perfect squares that go into 10? 4 can't go in, 9 can't go in, and the rest of them are bigger. So I can't do anything more with the square root of 10, so it stays square root 10, and I cannot forget about this -1 I took out before. That's going to be my imaginary number I. That goes right in between, no big deal. I got one last one. Square root of -120. Same exact thing. I don't like that negative under the square root. I get rid of it right away. That's going to be my I. I have the square root of 120. What perfect squares can go into 120? I don't exactly know, but I know my best friend is usually square root of 4 or square root of 9. 9's not going to work here, but square root of 4 will. And 4 times 3 gives me 12, so 4 times 30, add that 0, gives me 120. What's nice about the square root of 4? That's just 2. Square root of 30. Are there any perfect squares that go into 30? Can 4 go into 30? If I count by 4 as 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, no good. How about 9? No. 16, no. 25, no. I can't do anything with the square root of 30. Even though 3 and 10 work, neither 3 or 10 are perfect squares, so it stays square root 30. And I don't forget about this -1 is my I. And that's how we deal with negatives under the square roots.